Hello students, in this lecture we are going to study about mutations and genetic code, translation and regulation of gene expression. Mutations and genetic code. As you know very well, what is mutation? It is abnormality in chromosome or gene. This condition is known as mutation. Effects of large deletions and rearrangements in a segment of DNA are easy to comprehend. It may result in loss or gain of a gene and so a function. So this way we can say that if there is loss or gain, this both condition regarding gene, it can disturb its function and it's a one kind of mutation. Classical example of point mutation that you have already studied in previous chapter is a change of single base pair in the gene for beta globin chain that results in the change of amino acid residue glutamate to valine, and in human it results into a disease known as sickle cell anemia. So this disease in human being is an example of point mutation. Effect of point mutation that inserts or deletes a base in structural gene. It means that both condition is possible, either loss or gain. It can be better understood by following example. By studying this example, you will get clear idea about this. Here you can read some sentences. Suppose first sentence is Ram has red cap. If we insert a letter B in between has and red and rearrange the statement, it would be read as follow: Ram has BREDCAP. So condition is now changed. Similarly, if we now insert two letters at the same place, let's say BI, now it should read as Ram has BINEDCAP. So it's a second condition. If we insert three letters together, so it means BIG. So again, if we try to read the statement, it would be like that: Ram has big red cap. So if we repeat the same exercise by deleting the letters like R, E and D, one by one rearranging the statement to make a triplet word. Okay. So this way now this sentence it would be like this: Ram has EDCAP, Ram has DCAP and Ram has cap. This condition, his conclusion is very obvious. This type of insert or delete one or multiple codon, hence one or multiple amino acid this way, and reading frame remain unaltered from that point onwards. So by studying this simple kind of example, we have clear idea about either insertion or deletion of one or multiple codon. This type of condition may arise. It's a one type of abnormal condition. Such mutations are referred to as frame shift insertion or deletion mutation. If it is added gain, then frame shift insertion, or if it is a deletion or loss, it is known as deletion mutations. tRNA, the adapter molecule. As you know, there are three types of RNA: mRNA, rRNA and tRNA. As the name of scientist is Famer, Watson and Crick, here one of these scientists, Francis Crick, they said that there is a to be mechanism to read the code and also to link it to the amino acid, because amino acids have no structural specialities to read the code uniquely. After that, he postulated the presence of an adapter molecule that would on one hand read the code and on other hand would bind to specific amino acids. So this presence of this kind of adapter molecule here, actually which is a tRNA, so this type of function is observed, that it can read the code and it would bind to specific amino acid, and it is very useful during the process of translation. The tRNA then called sRNA. sRNA means soluble RNA. This was known before the genetic code was postulated. However, its role as an adapter molecule was assigned much later. So this way we can say transfer RNA or tRNA, it is having of such a type of function, and it's a sRNA also, soluble RNA, and its a function as an adapter molecule is well known. In this figure we can get clear idea about tRNA, the adapter molecule. tRNA has an anticodon loop that has bases complementary to the code, and it also has an amino acid acceptor and to which it binds to amino acids. tRNAs are specific for each amino acid. So for different type of amino acid, different type of tRNA is there. For initiation, there is another specific tRNA that is referred to as initiator tRNA. In this figure you can clearly see that codon, anticodon, there is a chain that is 5' to 3N, and here the example is taken of amino acid that is serine and tyrosine. There are no tRNA for stop codons. In this figure the secondary structure of tRNA has been depicted that looks like a flower leaf. So actually structure, the tRNA is a compact molecule which looks like inverted L shape. This figure actually gives us clear idea about codon, that is genetic code. For serine you can see that is AGU, and in the loop of tRNA, that is anticodon, it possesses that is UCA, and for tyrosine it's a codon UCA and anticodon is AUG. So this way tRNA has a major role as an adapter molecule. Translation. This process is actually a polymerization of amino acids to form a polypeptide. We can also say it's required for protein synthesis. The structural and functional unit of protein, that is amino acid, and then chain is known as polypeptide chain. So through this mechanism or process of translation, this translation is polymerization of amino acid for formation of polypeptide chain. Order and sequence of amino acids are defined by the sequence of bases in the mRNA, and this way this type of arrangement take place regarding different amino acids. Units of amino acids one by one arrange like amino acid 1, 2, 3 and so on amino acids, and polypeptide chain is formed. Amino acids are joined by a bond which is known as peptide bond. So between two amino acid the bond is known as peptide bond. Formation of this bond means peptide bond, it requires energy. For that purpose, first phase itself amino acids are activated in the presence of ATP. As you know very well, ATP is a good source of energy, and linked to their cognate tRNA, a process commonly called as charging of tRNA or amino acylation of tRNA to be more specific. So for formation of this peptide bond, where energy is required here and it is provided this way, and that is known as charging of tRNA. If two such charged tRNAs are brought close enough, the formation of peptide bond between them would be favored energetically. When this polymerization process or translation process take place, at that time this charged tRNAs are brought too close and peptide bond is formed. The presence of a catalyst would enhance the rate of peptide bond formation. So catalyst which increase the rate of biochemical reaction, its presence can increase the rate of peptide bond formation. The cellular factory responsible for synthesis protein is the ribosome. Ribosome is a very important cell organelle. It is related with translation process. It take place here in same organelle, that is ribosome. Ribosome consists structural RNAs and about 80 different proteins. In its inactive state, it exists as two subunits. We have already studied about a large subunit and a small subunit. In short, it is also known as S. So this way, in inactive condition, it possesses two subunits. One is large and another is small. When the small subunit encounters an mRNA, the process of translation of the mRNA to protein begins. So this way, when this type of role is acted by this ribosome organelle, when the small subunit of ribosome encounter an mRNA, at that time actually the translation process begins. This figure gives clear idea about translation process. Here arrangement you can see, that is chain which is 5' to 3' end chain mRNA. Ribosome is arranged here, it is large subunit and small subunit is there. Here the role of tRNA, which is now known to you. tRNA as adapter molecule, it is also present here. Codon and anticodon we can understand by studying this figure easily. Here the different type of amino acid, they arise from cytoplasm arranged on this organelle, and one by peptide bond, that dipeptide molecule is formed, and gradually polypeptide chain, that is protein, is synthesized here. So the ribosome acts as a catalyst here, that is 23S rRNA in bacteria, an enzyme ribozyme for formation of peptide bond. The translation unit in mRNA is the sequence of RNA that is flanked by the start codon, and that start codon is always AUG, and the stop codon and the codes for a polypeptide. mRNA also has some additional sequences that are not translated and are referred as untranslated regions. In short, it is also known as UTR. These UTRs are present at both 5' end before start codon and at 3' end also, that is after stop codon. So on both ends UTR is there. They are required for efficient translation process. For starting of this process, it means the for initiation process, the ribosome binds to the mRNA at the start codon, that is always AUG, that is recognized only by the initiator, that is tRNA. So this way initiation of process take place. The ribosome proceeds to the elongation phase of protein synthesis. Gradually one by one amino acid, they are bind through peptide bonds here. During this stage, this complex is composed of amino acid linked to tRNA sequentially bind to the appropriate codon in mRNA by forming complementary base pair with the tRNA anticodon. So now you can understand this codon, these are present on mRNA, and on opposite end, opposite side, anticodons are present on the loop of tRNA. The ribosome moves from codon to codon along the mRNA. Amino acids are added one by one It is like amino acid 1, amino acid 2, amino acid 3 and so on amino acids are added here, translated into polypeptide sequences. This dictated by DNA and represented by mRNA. At the end of this mechanism or process, the release factor binds to the stop codon, terminating translation and releasing the complete polypeptide from the ribosome. So we can say this way, for protein synthesis process, for translation process, the required organelle, that is ribosome, role of mRNA and tRNA is there. Okay. Codons and anticodons are arranged one by one. Amino acids come here, most this side, they are added to this chain, they are bind with peptide bond and polypeptide chain is formed, that is protein. So this way entire process of translation take place. Regulation of gene expression. This regulation of gene expression actually refers to a very broad term that may occur at various levels. Considering that gene expression results in the formation of polypeptide, that is actually protein, it can be regulated at several levels. If we talk about higher organism or in eukaryotes, the regulation could be exerted at, there are 4 units are there. First, transcriptional level, means formation of primary transcript. The second is processing level, that is regulation of splicing. Third one, that is transport of mRNA from nucleus to the cytoplasm. And fourth one is translation level. So this way in eukaryotes the regulation could be exerted at this 4 type of level, that is transcriptional level, processing level, transport of mRNA from nucleus to the cytoplasm, and fourth is translational level. In prokaryotes, it means in lower organism. This rate means control of the rate of transcriptional initiation is predominant site for control of gene expression. This transcription process actually it is having transcription unit. The activity of RNA polymerase at a given promoter is in turn regulated by interaction with accessory proteins which affect its ability to recognize start site. So this way role of promoter is observed here, which purport initiate or start the entire process. These regulatory proteins can act both. It means may be positively or activator and negatively also. It is also repressor. Activity, these activators or positively type of regulatory protein, they initiate this type of activity, and on other hand, that is negatively type of regulatory proteins, they can also repress the entire mechanism or process. These regulatory proteins can act this way of 2 types. Accessibility of promoter region of prokaryotic DNA, that is primitive organism DNA, is in many cases regulated by the interactions of proteins with sequences term operators. So, in this kind of regulation of gene expression, these units which are involved here, they are important here, like promoter, operators, and such a kind of proteins. The Lek operon. Scientists named Francois Jacob and Jacques Monod, they were the first to elucidate a transcriptionally regulated system, and generally it is known as Lek operon. Here the term Lek is actually refers to lactose, And as you know, lactose is a one kind of sugar here. A polycystonic structural gene is regulated by a common promoter and regulatory genes. This type of arrangement is very common in bacteria and is referred as a operon. So that's why the entire mechanism name is given on the basis of this type of sugar, lactose present here, and it is common in bacteria and referred as a lac operon. Not only lac operon type of system is there, but some other name, like some examples: lac operon, TRP operon, ERA operon, is operon, align operon. It is also observed as a mechanism. If we talk about lac operon, how does it composite or consist? It is consist of one regulatory gene, that is small I, or also we can say I for inhibitor, and three structural genes. Which are these three structural genes? They are Z, Y and A. So in short, we can say lac operon is actually regulatory gene small I and plus three structural genes Z, Y and A. I gene here, that is regulatory gene or inhibitor gene, it codes for the repressor of the lac operon. So it inhibits this mechanism, and that's why it's a one type of inhibitor. Z gene, it codes for beta galactosidase, that is beta gal, which is primarily responsible for the hydrolysis of a disaccharide lactose into its monosaccharide unit, that is galactose and glucose. So this Z gene is actually responsible for hydrolysis of disaccharide lactose. Its breakdown take place and two units galactose and glucose are formed. Small y gene, it codes for permease, which increases the permeability of the cell to beta galactosidase. So this way the role of Y gene is to increase the permeability. Small a gene, it encodes a trans-acetylase. So all these three genes, this type of structural gene, products in lac operon are required for metabolism of lactose. Actually this entire mechanism is related with metabolism of lactose sugar. It's made up of lac operon, which is consist of one regulatory gene, that is small I, and three structural gene, we can say small z, small y and small a. This figure, it gives clear idea about lac operon. Here in this composition you can see this is a structural gene and that Z, Y, A. So all four type of gene, small I, small z, small y and small a, you can see here. In absence of inducer and in presence of inducer, which type of different mechanism take place, that we can study here clearly. In this figure you can see that repressor mRNA, you repress the unit, inducer, your inactive repressor, and lac mRNA units are there. Transcription process, how does it initiate, and this which units are involved in this mechanism. Lactose is the substrate for the enzyme beta galactosidase and it regulates switching on and off the operon. That is the role of this beta galactosidase in lac operon. Hence it is termed as a inducer because it induces the mechanism or process, that's why. In the absence of a preferred carbon source such as glucose, if lactose is provided in the growth medium of the bacteria, the lactose is transported into the cells through the action of permease. There is very low level of expression of lac operon has to be present in the cell all the time. Otherwise, lactose cannot enter the cell. So, permeability of cell increases. The lactose then induces the operon in the following manner. The repressor of the operon is synthesized all the time constantly from the small I gene. The repressor protein binds to the operator region of the operon and prevents RNA polymerase from transcribing the operon. In the presence of an inducer such as lactose or allolactose, the repressor is inactivated by interaction with the inducer. So, this way this allows RNA polymerase access to the promoter and transcription proceeds. As you can see in this figure also, how does it initiate or induce? Essentially, regulation of lac operon can also be visualized as regulation of enzyme synthesis by its substrate. So, this way the sugar named lactose, it's a mechanism of metabolism of this sugar is actually observed in culture media in laboratory, and the organism is bacteria. So, regulation of lac operon by repressor. This repressor is referred to as a negative regulation. Lac operon is under control of positive regulation as well, but it is beyond the scope of discussion at this level. So, both type of mechanism is possible here. In the absence of inducer and in the presence of inducer, what type of change take place you can see in first figure. Inducer is not present for the mechanism. Repressor mRNA is bind to this side. This repressor bind to the operator region and prevent RNA polymerase from transcribe the operon. So, it's one type of switch off condition, but when the inducer is present, the mechanism is different. The inducer is bind there and inactive repressor, then lac operon its mechanism take place, that is on lac mRNA transcription, translation, and this way the lactose metabolism take place. So, now you can get clear idea about the lac operon, and it is actually related with regulation of gene expression mechanism.